I'm going to review for you the Givi tank bag EA110B. This is a 25 liters tank bag, and which I recently purchased, and I find it to be a really good tank bag, and I am going to show you why. Right, so first of all, I'm going to show you what are the main components of this tank bag. Firstly, obviously the bag itself. As I said, this is a 25 liters tank bag, and just to give you an idea of how big it is on the inside, this is it. There is a stiffening insert right there, which you have to install as soon as you purchase the bag. Obviously, it's very easy to put. This is an expandable tank bag. There is a zipper here, which allows you to very easily expand it to its full 25 liters capacity. There you go. This is the fully expanded tank bag. Right, so besides the actual bag, you have a mount. This mount is supposed to be strapped on top of the tank of your motorcycle, and it has a very nice material underneath, which is an anti-slip. Okay, it's some kind of rubbery surface which allows this not to slip on the tank. I will show you later how to actually attach this to your motorcycle tank. I just wanted to show you a couple of the clips that you will find. There is a strap, that's the front part that goes towards the steering wheel, the handlebar, and this will go underneath the whole handlebar block, and then attach itself into this other buckle, and these can be then tightened accordingly depending on the shape of your tank to fit it nicely. On the rear side of the tank bag mount, in this case, you have these two straps which are meant to go and attach themselves onto the initial part of the subframe, pretty much right under your seat. Then, once this is on the motorcycle, you have these 4 clips, 2 and 2, which correspond to these clips over here. You got 2 on this side and 2 on this side, which go obviously this way. Okay. In addition to this, there is an extra securing strap on the tank bag itself, which, just like the previous one here, also goes all the way under the handlebar mount to secure the tank bag even further. This tank bag is in particular ideal if you have a motorcycle with a plastic tank, but you can also fit it on obviously motorcycles with a metallic tank bag, in case, for example, you don't particularly like the tank bags that have magnets. So this one has no magnets, and it's supposed to be strapped with this. It's quite easy. I will show you later how that is done. Besides these elements, which are the fundamental ones, in the package, when you purchase the product, you will also find a few additional straps which enable you to turn the tank bag into sort of like a carry bag through these, and a few more straps which I honestly haven't even understood what they are for. And besides this, you should also find a rain cover that goes right on top of this, which unfortunately I'm not able to show you right now, but it is included in the kit, and it fits obviously perfectly on top of the bag. Right. You'll be surprised how much stuff it can fit. So just to give you an idea, I'm gonna now keep it fully expanded, and I've got here some basic equipment. I've got a relatively small size sleeping bag, which I can easily fit within. And then I've got another relatively small, medium-sized sleeping bag, which fits also quite nicely on the inside. Here we go, so we already have 2 sleeping bags. And then remember, this is already expanded, so I've got here a very warm but also relatively bulky, this is a fleece, okay, for the winter when it's cold, which also fits very well. And we could still, insert a few objects within the bag itself, because it's closing extremely easily. Okay, so I've been loading this one quite nicely. This is how big it is when it's fully expanded. Of course, there are some side pockets, 3 side pockets. These are very handy for objects, small objects that you need to be using on a, when you're on the road. You can put, for example, your wallet on this one, which is obviously handy when you have to pay tolls on the highway and things like that. And then other pockets here where you maybe can have small tools or similar things. Right, so this is it. Obviously there is a cover on top which allows you to potentially put a map or something like that. This is thought for that. It's quite sturdy, feels nice and solid, and with the rain cover you are sure that your stuff won't get wet. Next, we will see how to mount it on the motorcycle. Okay, so here we are, brought the bike outside. I'm going to show you how to mount the tank bag on the tank. So the first thing you're going to have to do in order to do this is going to have to, in most cases, remove the seat. I'm going to be doing this now, and afterwards I'll show you the steps. Okay, so we remove the seat now. We're going to position the mount roughly in the way we want it to be. You see that there is this strap here, which goes, as I said before, under the frame mount. So it's the bottom part of the frame, which is the one that basically attaches itself to the pivot on which the handlebar is positioned. So in other words, the strap will have to go under here, underneath here, all the way under, and branch itself onto the bottom part of the frame here, right behind the front forks. Okay, so onto the part that is not moving. Okay, so if I move the handlebar, you see that part is moving? No, it must not be mounted on the moving bit, it must be mounted on the hand of the frame right there. I understand that you're not able to see it very well right now. You will be able to understand it when you actually look at your own bike. If you notice underneath, so it won't be very easy to see, but you see I'm passing now the strap underneath and just grabbing it with the other hand. Okay, so now we're gonna film from up again. Here we go. So as you can see, the strap is passing on this side. There are also some elastic bits here on the strap itself, which will enable you to wrap the leftover on. I'm just gonna ignore them for now. So what you do is simply pass the strap into the buckle, and let's just follow the same way this is. So it's actually passing like that, so just copy the other one. Here we go, and just pull it a little bit in order to, adjust it to the distance you want it to be at. In this case, this seems to be fine, and this is what it looks like once it's tightened. I'm pulling now with quite a lot of strength, and as you can see, it doesn't move at all. Of course, the leftover strap, you can make a plan to use those elastic bands I showed you earlier to wrap around there, make sure they don't go anywhere. But I won't do this now because first I want to mount everything and see how it needs to be adjusted at the end. Okay, the next thing you're gonna have to do is to attach these two straps, and these will have to be attached, at least on my bike. In most bikes that's how it works. Oops, what is this? They will have to be attached, as you can see, if you resume here a little bit, they will have to go under the subframe mounts, which go right under the seat. I'm just gonna position them properly. Here we go. Actually, make sure that these two rings stay facing on the outside. Here we go. That's how you want them to be, okay? So then you will pass the strap inside both of them. This is how this type of buckles normally work, like that. And then you will pass this inside of, so over the top one and inside the bottom one. Okay, so this enables you to have it tightened. Now it's still quite loose, but as you can see, if I pull, it doesn't go anywhere. I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one. Okay? So this is how you attach it. Now it's nicely strapped. Of course, it's not fully tightened. The reason why I haven't tightened it yet is because I need to put the seat back in place, okay? And if you tighten them, then the seat won't fit anymore, at least in my case, once again. This is, by the way, an Aprilia Pegaso 650. It's a cube model, year 1998. So here we go. This should be enough space for the seat to be put back on. So I'm gonna try. Let's see. Here we go. So this whole bit is gonna have to go on top of the seat, okay? Initially I thought it was gonna be mounted underneath, but no, that doesn't work. So here we go. You slide the seat in, just like that. Here we go. And now that you have the situation set up this way, well, it's just then time to tighten these to make them work for you. So my advice is to tighten them, you know, a little bit on the left side, a little bit on the right side. Don't just make one tight because it's going to move everything to one side and then you have to undo them and all that. So just do them, you know, just like that. A little bit on this side, a little bit on this side. And then before you fully tighten them, then also adjust the front one. Here we go. And now it's really, really snug. Of course, you can do it more, as much as you think it's appropriate. Be careful because these are plastic, so if you really put too much strength, you can also break them. It's not necessary to put your full strength, okay? They're already holding it really, really tightly without exaggerating. It's plastic, so watch out. Okay, that's it. And once you've done this, well, it's just a matter of basically wrapping these, so you don't want to have them flapping around. Underneath the buckles on this side, you have these handy little hangers. I don't know how to call them, but you can just put it in there like this and then fold it down. And what I do, I just put them under the strap itself. If you're planning to use these only on one specific bike and you realize that these are too long, well, you can even just cut them to the length you prefer. But I like to keep them long for now because I might be using it on different bikes as well, and I want them to be as versatile as possible. Right, see, it's really, really tight and strong. You don't really need to have it, even if there is a little bit of movement, this is not going to affect the performance. Once you have this done, well, you are basically more than halfway there, because at this point you just need to attach your actual bag. The trickier part is this bit. This is a strap that will have to go pretty much under the steering, the handlebar, the frame bit that holds the handlebar, just like we did with the previous strap that holds this in place. It's quite easy because it's a fairly long strap as well.
So this one goes in this way, same as I showed you earlier, just goes in that way, and then you just grab it from underneath. This operation I'm doing right now, putting this strap on, is perhaps the only downside of this bag, because every time you're gonna have to fill up, at least in my experience, every time you stop to fill up, and remember that this is gonna be full, you are gonna have to undo this strap under the steering wheel, the handlebar, sorry, because otherwise you won't be able to lift this enough to have enough space to reach the actual hole in the tank. So every time you're gonna have to undo this. Look, once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. It's really quite easy. Of course, it doesn't make it as handy as perhaps a different type of tank bag, such as perhaps the tank lock type, I believe it's called, but I don't really mind. Okay, now it's clipped in. You probably want to also there adjust the length of it. In my case, it looks like it may be slightly loose, so I will just pull it at the buckle just to make it slightly tighter. Remember, you don't want to make it too tight, because then it's going to move your tank bag forward, and the more forward it is, and the more it's going to get in the way of your handlebar. Now, like this, I find that it's quite in a good position. It doesn't really affect my steering too much. Of course, at some point it's going to touch in, but I think this is pretty much affecting, you know, any type of tank bag, but it's fine. It still gives me quite a good angle, and also it's not too far back, so as to, you know, bothering me on this side. Simply clip these to give the final holding force and to really have the tank bag strongly attached to its mount. You have two at the back and two on the front, and these are simply a matter of clipping them together. Voila, job done. As you can see, the dimension of it is reasonable, and when it's expanded, so you can see it in comparison to the riding position, at least on my bike, looks like this. I can still see my controls perfectly well. I can steer, I can turn the handlebar quite nicely. It doesn't get in my way at all. I can even lean forward slightly. It's perfect. So it really works for me. Yeah, I guess this is it. If you have any questions, you can put in the comments. I'd be happy to answer, and I hope you enjoyed the review. So till the next one.